Hey, beautiful. Hope you're having a great day. I just wanted to check in. It's Friday the 19th, and September's coming to a close. Crazy how quickly time passes. It's been a crazy cool week. A lot of fun things happening, but a lot of hard work as well. I hope you're doing well. Wish I could talk to you face to face and hear about your day. I am working super hard on some big projects. I'm working on a poem right now that's it's crazy, but it's literally like 200 pages long, and I'm working on wrapping it up to record it. I hope it helps a lot of people. It's going to be quite intense and raw, and yeah, I don't do stuff that extensive, but it's one of those things that needs to cover an awful lot of topics very quickly. I'm going to be reading it super fast, but my goal, as always, is healing. That's the main focus of what I do, is helping people heal. And trauma is a real thing. And I love to be able to give people a chance to sort of not just slip into some of my shorter poems and sort of feel things for a moment, but actually get into a whole new world, a whole mindset that takes a long time to develop. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a lot of work. But I've been taking a lot of walks and soaking up a lot of the beautiful evenings. Hoping to see, I saw Saturn is going to be closer than it will be for a whole year this Sunday night. So I'm hoping to see that, see the rings up a little closer. And just trying to soak up the beauty of life and so forth. But thinking about you a lot, wishing I could take a walk with you. One of the things I was thinking I would share is some of the things I used to have as my background. When I was little, I'm from Philadelphia, just outside of it, and a little suburb right near the airport. And when I was growing up, my grandparents on my mom's side had a house down in Bethany Beach, Delaware. And it was always a highlight. We used to go down there. It was one of those houses that was very old and creaky and needed a lot of work, but I guess the money wasn't there, so we just made do with what it was. But it was about 2 or 3 miles, I think, from the beach, so it wasn't right on the beach, but it's pretty close. And it had 2 stairwells, so when my siblings and I would play hide and go seek, you could have one person count and the others would hide, but as the counter was done and started to look for the other kids, the kids could go up the one flight of stairs to find a hiding spot, but then down the opposing flight of stairs on the other side of the house. But I'm just thinking a lot about just the beach. I feel like I go a lot to the lake here just to think, let myself ponder life and reflect, and sometimes to make some videos. But I really miss the beach itself. It's a big deal. Hoping to get back soon. I've been working on a lot of monologues, and some of the monologues, it's funny, I often think to myself, this monologue really should be a poem. It's too emotional, too intense to be prose. But there's a whole bunch I'm working on there that just, I love it. And it's amazing, like I said one of the last messages, that when you get in a certain mindset, the right frame of mind, it just flows, like you just can't stop. And it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. But I'm trying to find ways to really increase my reach and what I do. Again, my main job is that I help people healing from trauma, and a lot of that is through in-depth one-on-one conversations, but it's also through monologues and poems that I write and other things like that. And it's been so interesting for me when I've seen this in other people as they affect me, and I want to do it as well for other people. But I get to a point where I realize that so much of what we are going through and needing to express for the catharsis and the healing and the refresh, the restart, is to find the right words. And often that's both the actual right words, but it's often the word pictures, saying this is like that and this feels like this. And once you develop the ability to compare and contrast different picturesque things, it it becomes part of your second nature to begin to find those more and more. And I love the idea of helping people to find the right words. Other people have done it for me, and it's encouraged and helped me and blessed me so much. And I love being able to be a source of that for other people in a place of safety. It's amazing to me how many people, I think, don't really get the chance to share their story. And that's a sad thing. Stories matter. They really do. But I host people sharing their stories on a regular basis. Usually interviews for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And it's amazing to me when you see someone that just basically has the floor and they're free to just talk it through. Something really changes, and it's almost like it's cool to do that, but it's also almost a study in and of itself as to when somebody, no matter where their story is going to take them and no matter what the details and dynamics that they're going to share, just when a human gets a chance to stop rushing, to stop thinking I have to fit this into a specific time frame, or I have to just move too quickly. I mean, I do have to encourage people to be storytellers, obviously, because of, that's what we do. We do interviews, and our interviews are going to be posted, and people do need to think about, not being boring. But at the same time, once people have a little bit of a direction like that as to how to be a good storyteller, there's just something that's amazing that happens after a certain period of time. For some people, I've seen it happen as quickly as 5 minutes. Usually within the first 15 minutes, people's personalities just change, and they feel nervous at first, perhaps. But I think what they're partially nervous about, of course, is just not stumbling over their own words, not squeezing in too many ums and ahs and awkward pauses. And some people just can't get over that. It's just too difficult to not weave those into their wording. They're just used to that kind of lingo. But for a lot of people, it shifts. It really does shift. And you get to a point where you get more comfortable in your own skin and your own heart, in your own head. And you eventually find yourself just pouring out so much. And I love that. I love so much being a conduit of helping people. Just, it isn't even like at that point almost a dialogue. It's almost like I'm there, but it's more like I'm just an observer. It's a monologue of sorts. It technically stays a dialogue, but it's like a monologue that they're having with themselves, and they're learning to love who they are. They're learning to love listening to their own voice. They're learning to honor their own story and their own process, and what a beautiful process that is to be part of. I think too, there's so much of our lives that we're so quick to move from this to that, and we're rushing, we're overwhelmed with responsibilities, and everything is just go, go, go. And then to finally have a chance, one way or another, to just slow down and say what's really going on in my life, and let's talk this through, almost like they're looking in a mirror and staring at themselves and saying, where have we been? And almost like they're saying to themselves, I miss you. I miss myself. And when you get reacquainted with yourself and you realize, yeah, I guess I actually have been kind of absent, and I kind of miss myself, and I haven't been very good at self-care. I think when people realize that, it really hits hard. It becomes a very, very beautiful experience. Very cathartic. Again, very, very watershed for a lot of people too. Life changes. Life changes when you think of your life as a story, especially when you think of it as a story that's not over. A story where you have the pen and there's an awful lot of empty pages, and you can go back in some cases and sort of add flair and color to what's already been written, but you certainly can write what's yet to come. But anyway, I just thought I'd share a few thoughts tonight. I'm thinking about you. Thinking about you all the time. Missing you. And hoping I can see you someday. I really do. Hope I can hold you in my arms and tell you how glad I am that you're in my life. So, I know you won't hear this tonight, but hope you have a great weekend. And I hope you're taking good care of yourself. Hope you're loving yourself. Hope you know you're worth it. Because you are. Feel a big hug from me, Whitney. Good night.